All right, we are live. If it's not obvious already, I have no idea what I am doing here, but I'm hoping to. Wait a minute. But yeah, the plan is obviously I've got my stack of PC cards here in a box. So I'm going to be going through these. I'm trying to work out at the moment what I should be doing in terms of with my PC cards. I like to normally display them up here in the back, but I'm trying to work out what I should do with them. Should I be just putting them in one touches? At the moment, I have some, like there's some that are graded with PSA. Not a fan of PSA slabs and the look of them. I want to get all my PC cards in like matching display cases. So whether that's one touches with black borders or whether that is in a graded slab of probably SGC is really the only grading company that I do like the designs of. So if you want to give me some tips, advice, any of you out there who have had this similar problem, anyone else who's a collector who is a little bit, I guess, more obsessive with how these cards display, how you have them, it would be good to hear from you in the comments below. So let me know what you guys think. We have gem card collecting already here. Hope you are having a good day, brother. Hype for the live. I've had a good day. It is currently 11 p.m. here. It is already past my bedtime. I do have my regular cup of bedtime tea here as well to sip on during this live. But yeah, it's 11 p.m. here, Central European time. Gem card collecting, you're Canada. So what time is it over there? Let me know what time it is. 2 p.m. Have you already done that? All right, yeah. So we're 8 hours ahead. I think currently East Coast, it would be 5 p.m. roughly, and then what's going to make it 8 p.m. West Coast time. And then my friends over in Australia, we are looking at about 7 a.m. there in the morning. Also, just so everyone knows, if you do want to write a comment, you do need to be subscribed. I just thought, being this the first time doing a live, I want to have my subscribers be the one who I'm connecting with right here, right now. So once again, just going to be here checking out the comments. So far, it's me and Gem Card Collecting hanging out. I'm not surprised to see you, brother, but thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate the support. You're always there in the comments. You're always there watching the videos, connecting me. Obviously, we've talked numerous times on Instagram as well. Where did you get your display case? I just use card stands. So this case, this one, that was actually a thrift store find. I got that at a secondhand shop. I think I paid about $30 for that. It's from IKEA. What's up? You're gonna be watching the pay-per-view tomorrow from Bookie Bully. Thanks for joining us, Bookie Bully. Cool to see you here. Going to be watching the pay-per-view tomorrow. So, little behind the scenes, I actually watch all my pay-per-views about 12 hours after they go live. So, obviously, I'm a little bit too of an old man, hence what I was just saying. Got my cup of tea here before bed. A little bit of an old man to stay up like 1, 2 a.m. to be watching the events live. So, I generally save to watch them the next days. Normally, if I don't watch them Sunday morning here, I will watch them in the afternoon. So I normally do not check social media whatsoever because I don't want to be ruining the results. If I find out the result of a fight, it's hard for me to watch it, to be honest. And I've always been like that with sports. Any sporting team that I've ever supported, even if it's a win, if it's a loss, especially if it's a loss, obviously you don't want to be watching your favorite fighter or your favorite team lose. But I can't watch it. I can't watch it if I know the results. So the plan is to watch the UFC 303 pay-per-view, which we can actually talk about because I'm super upset. Obviously, those of you who have watched the collab that I've done with Zach from Box Alarm Trading recently, I'm super upset Conor's not fighting. I've been buying Conor cards for the last year and a half, waiting for his return. I was expecting a really big hype around his return. Win or loss, I think it would have been great for UFC, for the card market, to get Conor back on there. All right, so I've got to catch up here. We've got a few people popping in, and this is surprising. I've got 6 people here right now, and I was going to be surprised if I got 5. So we're doing good. We're doing better than I thought. Where are we at? As fun as cards are to look at, displaying any one card long term should be avoided due to potential fading. So yes, I am somewhat aware of that. I do have a window just here. I live in Sweden, so there's not a whole heap of natural daylight year round. Obviously, it's summertime. We have a decent amount of sun here now, but I do make sure that anything on this back wall is not ever in display light, direct sunlight, should I say. Obviously, you are getting natural light that displays in them, but for me, if I've got a collectible, some sort of, I want to display it. I mean, if it fades a little bit over the next 10 years, I'd rather that than have it sitting in a drawer where I can't appreciate it. But cool to have you here, Objecto Collecto. Yeah, some folks with different time zones, I feel bad with UFC times. Yeah, but I mean, even for you guys in the States, isn't it? It's pretty late. Like a main card starts at, what, 10, 11 p.m.? So I know that's not super late, but still, like, you guys are staying up till 1, 2 p.m., 1, 2 a.m. Box Alarm, he's in the house. Zach's in the house. Thanks for stopping by, Zach. I do appreciate it. Pumping up the numbers here. We're up to 9 people. This is crazy. I haven't even started fiddling through the cards yet. Who was the first fight you liked in the UFC? I've said this before, I really was just amazed with the whole sport in general. Grew up a lot watching martial arts as kids, all kung fu movies, thought it was really cool. And then to see it in like real life, knowing it was real life, I was just pretty much hooked straight away. I've had an initial period where I started watching UFC heavily in 2008 through to 2010-ish. And then around UFC 100, I sort of dropped off, and then I didn't come back till the Conor era. Yes, it does suck about Conor, but hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully he gets put on. I don't think they'll put him on an O'Malley card, to be honest. I think they want to see how Sean does pay-per-view wise by himself. Yeah, 7 in the chat. I know, right? It's crazy. Who would have thought? No idea what I'm doing here, but it's working. UK base cannot stay up for the pay-per-view and watch the next day too. Yeah. So you know how it is, AB. Thanks for joining us. You know how it is for us over here on this part of the world. It is what it is. Stay away from social media, and you're normally pretty good. You can rewatch the pay-per-view in your own time at a decent time during the day for us older folks who enjoy our cup of tea and don't want to be staying up to the middle hours of the night without our beauty sleep. I hate how late they are. I love the midday fight cards. Yeah, I mean, it must be pretty tough for you guys as well, especially if it's on a Saturday. If it's a midday Saturday, like normally Saturdays, families are out doing stuff. You might have kids who have sport. It must be tough to sort of be also like sit down and watch a fight in the middle of the day of a Saturday as well for a lot of people who have families and stuff. But I don't know what's better for you over there, but definitely for me on a Sunday. Sunday is my chill day. I don't do too much. I just really hang out on a Sunday. My Sunday is my day of rest. Any fighter you collecting more right now? I'm kind of laid back right now. Was getting some harms at, then he pulled out. So it's still O'Malley and Holloway. Originally, sort of the start of the year, it was O'Malley, Holloway, Akiyama. I really pulled away from Akiyama. Speaking of him, this was one of my more recent pickups. I got his Series 4. It's the silver, number to 188. But I've got this one now for Akiyama. And then I've got this auto as well. So this is the only auto I've got for Akiyama. It's a 2011 Moments of Truth. You can see it's got the Japanese lettering there, which looks really cool. It's a vertical card, cool image. I'm happy with this auto for him. I mean, his cards aren't expensive, but I mean, those two cards, basically this box here of cards are cards that are just like cards I want to have forever. So now we can flick through these later. But yeah, what I was getting at, Akiyama is a fighter. I'm sort of done with buying cards for him now. So it's still just Holloway and O'Malley. But even then, too, I haven't bought any. This is the first month. June is the first month I haven't bought any cards in a long time. But I haven't bought any this month. I've sort of, I mentioned in a few videos ago, I've just been a bit bored with UFC cards. Is that a David Bowie shirt? It is. Look. David Bowie's the man. Is there a Swedish fighter you follow, past or current? There isn't too many Swedish fighters currently. There was what was his name? Turkurli. His ring name was the Pleasure Man. He's really, we had Latifi as well, but I don't think Latifi even fights in the UFC anymore. I don't think there's too many high profile Swedish fighters in the UFC at the moment. I mean, Gustafsson was good for a couple of fights, but he really shouldn't have made that comeback. He just tarnished his legacy with those 3 losses at heavyweight he had recently. So, but no Swedish fighters. Like, I'm not obviously traditionally Swedish, so I just don't really have any connection with any Swedish fighters, to be completely honest. So there's no real reason for me to PC a Swedish fighter. How is the market interest in legends, or is it mostly the active fighters that draws interest and has the most value? Yeah, I mean, there's a list, I would say, of probably 5 legend fighters that sort of keep good market value. Other than that, it's really new products. Like, I really don't think there's not really too much in between. It's either new products, like the fresh new products, whether it's raw or getting first to grade to the market with PSA 10s. That's what really sells. I really haven't had much interest in, obviously, I don't ever open new products, so I haven't opened new product, bought new product. There's no real fighters that I'm chasing out of 2024 Chrome. Wasn't a massive fan of the designs of 2024 Chrome. So I don't have any interest in buying cards that I don't want to have for myself. And then when it comes to speculating on cards, I'd rather speculate on Legends than newer products. So I've speculated a bit with Legends, but have not done that great with it. But I suppose that's more of a long-term play. So I would definitely say the market interest in the Legends is sort of capped to about 5-ish fighters. And then, yeah, you've got all the new products which sell more regularly, I guess, and that's what people are into. I want to find out a way I can find a statistic of people who buy into breaks and then the money spent. So the money spent on breaks for UFC products compared to the money spent on individual cards. I'd love to find out that statistic and see where the majority of the hobby dollars that people are putting each year towards UFC cards. Is it breaks, new products, or is it people buying secondary cards from all years on secondary marketplaces? So that was from Samla Profilen. That is a Swedish person, I am guessing. Can you let me know? Samla Profilen. Bor du I Sverige, eller? Sorry, guys. I can change up a little bit of Swedish if I need to. I've been using a lot more Swedish at work, so I've been losing English words out of one side of my ear as new Swedish words come in the other side of the ear. Bookie Bully. I've been getting some nice Islam slabs. People don't value Islam, don't know why. The auto is sick with the Asian characters. Yeah, it definitely is sick. And I definitely agree with you. Islam gets no love. Like, compared to Khabib, which they're like, I know, Khabib was undefeated. Islam has had that one loss. Had a tough, good fight with Dustin Poirier, but styles make fights. And yeah, I think that Islam, it's hard to know, right? This is a thing with UFC cards. You can have the best fighter in the world in Islam Makhachev, but then sometimes his cards aren't appreciated until he's retired. So Zach's agreeing with Bookie Billy. Yeah, Islam's rookie first had was still relatively affordable considering his recomp. Yeah, definitely. Like, you can pick up Islam's cards cheaper than what you can probably pick up Diego Lopez's cards right now. I'm a fellow Aussie living in Europe, UK to be precise. I'm loving that our Aussie fighters are cheaper here than back home. What Aussies do you PC to do? So I'm not really actively PCing any Aussie fighters, but my admiration and respect for Whittaker is definitely growing. I mean, he's just typical Australian, super laid back, super respectful, down low funny. Like, if you ever watch any of his interviews or you understand his level of humor, Whittaker is a really cool guy and obviously a badass fighter too. So what's not to love about Whittaker? I probably should try and pick up Whittaker's rookie cards in 2015 tops. So, and you can pick up his rookie card for a few dollars. So I should just pick up a Whittaker card just to have. Semi-prefer, yeah, I'm Swedish. Okay, so yeah, we have talked on Instagram. Swedish Broncos collector. So Swedish Broncos collector, Samla Profilen. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he was into UFC. We've been talking on Instagram a little bit, but he was into UFC cards, had to use UFC cards in his collection. Then moved, or has probably always been into also the NFL side for his favorite team, the Denver Broncos. And then he's now looking to get it back into UFC cards. So you need to buy your first Holloway card. If you need a Holloway card, we can talk on Instagram, but I've probably got a Holloway card I can send you. Michael Gucci, big fan of your channel. I PC Habib and prefer his early top stuff. What are your thoughts on collecting a fighter's cards that are printed years after they've retired? Great question. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. What do I think about? Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. If let's spin the clock forward and it's 2030, Max Holloway is no longer fighting. Would I want to be picking up Max Holloway cards in 2030 from Tops? Probably not, unless it's a debut product. It would have to be first year and it would have to be a design that I really like. So, for example, people who collect Matt Hughes and then they're picking up Matt Hughes 2021 Prisms, I completely understand that from a collector's side of view, because you are basically having the opportunity to pick up a completely different design of your favorite fighter that you've never had available to you before. So I understand for those reasons, that would be my thinking behind actually picking up a potential product after a fighter has retired. But other than that, I wouldn't personally have any interest in it. But I mean, everyone's different in the hobby. So, I mean, if other people want to be picking up other years for whatever reason, then that's well within their choice. Jason's in the house. And he is also PC. Yeah, PC Whittaker got to be the Aussie GOAT for sure. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had too many Aussie champions. Whittaker, I'm trying to think if there was a champion before Whittaker. Ross Pearson, no, he was English anyway. Yeah, I mean, so far Volk's had a super impressive career. Volk was a little bit longer at the top, but Whittaker's definitely within the top two for sure. Objecto Collector, not a big fan of fighters having cards issued past their retirement unless it was a Legend subset, but not part of a base set. So, back at you, Objecto, what would be an example of a Legend subset that you've enjoyed so far that we've had? Can you give me an example? Samla Profilen, Islam needs to find his McGregor that got Khabib. That is a great point. Had a rivalry to make him more interesting in the broad end. That is, I've said that before, and I think that is an absolutely big thing that people tend to forget with Khabib, that Conor really is. Obviously, Khabib was already undefeated. He was already dominating people. But that Conor fight, if you take that Conor fight out of the Khabib career and he just beats Dustin and he just beats Gaethje, it's, I don't know. Obviously, we'll never know, but I really agree that Conor fight skyrocketed Khabib for sure. Michael, exactly why I'm asking. Khabib's 2024 Topps Chrome Auto Super Refractor is up on gold and sitting at just under 9K now. Yeah. Did Khabib have autos in Topps Chrome years previous? I don't know if he has. Do you know that, Michael? Did Khabib have an auto in 2017 Topps Chrome or 2018 or even 2019? I've seen Khabib autos, but they were in earlier years Topps products. Whittaker was first. Okay, so yeah, Whittaker was first Aussie champ. I was really struggling to think of anyone else who could have been. Actually, you know who I think? This is my prediction. After rewatching, I watched Jack Magdalena and Burns fight live, Gilbert Burns fight live. Rewatching that now, I've rewatched that event a few times now. Obviously, wanted to watch the Sugar Show a couple of times, but I've rewatched 299. Jack Magdalena, the way that he beat Gilbert Burns and having suffered a broken arm pretty early in that fight and still doing what he did, super impressive. I really rate JDM. I think he's going to be the next Aussie champ, which is going to upset Zach at Box Alarm because he's coming for that Leon Edwards title. He has all the tools and record as a fighter to be legend, but needs more character to be a legacy. If you're talking about Islam, I think Islam already has a decent amount of character. He already speaks more better English than what Khabib ever did. He likes taking little pot shots here and there, getting at people. So I like it from Islam. As I said, I'm not really sure what the missing ingredient is. I think he's pretty interactive now. He's a character. He's shown his humorous side. He's just an absolute dominant champion. So, yeah, beats me. Maybe Islam is just, who knows? He could just be, as you said, that one big fight away. He just needs that Conor McGregor type fight, which it wouldn't surprise me if UFC try and make that fight at some point, to be honest. Imagine the build up to an Islam versus Conor. That's as good as a Khabib versus Conor too. 2012 Bloodlines Fighting Forefathers. Okay. Get you some JDM. If someone's going to beat Leon, I hope it's JDM or Shavkat. Yeah. So you got to be real about it. What do you think? Obviously Leon Dust below. What do you think, Zach? I need to find you a Leon card to send you before that event. When is UFC 304? It's obviously in July, but I need to get on that. I need to send you a Leon card. Jason, JDM is the hottest Aussie prospect right now for sure. Yeah, he definitely is. He's looked. Not only has he looked good in every fight, he's showed progress every fight as well. So, as I showed before, they're the two Akiyamas. What do you guys think? Is it stupid? I know, Zach, you and I talked about this a little bit. I had this problem before. I had a O'Malley rookie. It was a base museum rookie. So it was a base, just not numbered, and it was one of the first cards I bought. It was in CSG 8.5. I really loved the card, but the grade really bothered me. But I think the problem was it was a base card. So a lot of these cards that I have here, not a lot. I think, well, obviously that auto is not numbered, but it's still an auto. But pretty much, speaking of an auto that's numbered, we have the Holloway 2021 Red Prism. I really got to get this camera situation sorted up. I'm actually connected to my phone right now. We can see how it's, I don't know if it's my eyesight or not, but it looks all fuzzy. That one numbered to 49. I think I should make a stack here of the three of the PC fighters that I have. But yeah, the issue was that I was getting a little bit upset because it was no rarity to that card. So I think that's why the grade bothered me more. Another Yoshihiro for the PC. Someone let me know, who is the first one to guess this card set? Stream is clear here. Well, you're too kind, but honestly, it looks like dog shit on my computer screen right now. But thanks for being nice. Come on, somebody's got to tell me what this is. Topps Finest. What year? You are on the right track, Jason. What year? Finest. Eric, thanks for joining me, mate. All good. You don't have to. Thanks for just coming to say hello. You don't need to. I'm blown away already by how many people have come here. But thanks for stopping, Eric. I know you watch the videos and comments, so I do appreciate you, mate. 2015 Finest was not in 2015. PG Fatty. Eric Bell. 2013. Close. Eric. Jason wins. 2012, and it's a gold number to 88. All right. Do we know what year Bloodlines this is? Oh, Objecto. Can I scroll back up here? Did I miss your comment? Oh. Yep, 2013 Bloodlines. That is right. We have, Jesus, I don't understand it. 2012 Finest here, the Bloodlines. For Yoshihiro as well. I've got another one of these. I've only got two of these. So I've had one already graded. Got a PSA 9. This is another one that I don't think is good enough for a PSA 9. But these are low-key what I think are some of the most underrated cards to date. Is these old UFC fight posters. This one from UFC 1. That was 2009. Most of the fight posters were 2010. There was some again in 2015. But the 2009 ones especially, I think, are underrated in terms of popularity. There's that Rampage relic. That is actually, I don't know how, we'll see how good the camera is right now. It actually tells you, authentic relic Bellator shirt worn in an Impact Wrestling event by Rampage Jackson. It actually tells you what date he actually wore the relic. So probably the coolest relic card I've ever seen. So that's why I had to keep that one for the PC. This is one of my favorite active fighters right now, Paulo Costa. That's his rookie 2018 Chrome. It's the red. Got that relatively cheap a while ago now. Brian S. jumping in. Finest had the very first on-card autos. Hope they do it again in 2024. So do I. It looks like we're going to have for what I've seen, we have Knockout coming out next, and that has also on-card autos. But hopefully, I'm going to be hanging out for Finest. The Finest might be the actual first hobby box you've ever seen me buy here on the channel, but we'll wait and see. I've got to like the design. I've got high hopes for it. Like, Where's the 2013? I'll see if I can find it here. That's all right. It was only headphones. That's the 2013 design versus the 2012 design for Finest, if we can get them both in this shot. So 2013 went for like the diamond sparkle refractor for both the blues and the golds, and then they also had the silver diamond refractors as well. This is, I hate to say like my favorite PC card because I don't think it is, but this is definitely top 3, if not number 2. Let's catch back up. Sell me that PSA 9 poster you've got, lol. I don't know if it's up on it might be already up on my eBay. So shoot me an offer. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, Zach, I know. But I have to see the design before I can pull. I'm not pulling the trigger on a hobby box for $300 US or $400 or however much it is if I don't like the cards. But I'm pretty keen to see what the design looks like because obviously I have Finest for my 2 other favorite fighters, Yoshihiro and Holloway. There's one fighter missing that I don't have a gold Finest refractor of, and we all know who that is. So 2024 is going to be the year. Hopefully I like the design. Yeah, semi-profilin. So yeah, most of the poster inserts were in 2010, and apparently I didn't know this, but apparently they you'd get heaps in a box. So yeah, 2013, it's hard to beat. I mean, even just I can see it sitting here on the table. Let's see if I can get the blue, even the blues. So for those of you who don't know, Finest, they had Finest moments as well. And they did them in the same parallels. So this is the blue 188 for Holloway. But yeah, the Finest blue versus the gold. I mean, obviously the blue, Jesus, what am I doing here? Even the blue's a color match there for Holloway with the shorts. So it's hard not to like the blue more than the gold. But obviously the gold is lower serial numbered, and gold is one of those human instinctively things that we all want to have and collect and hold on to and think are precious. So, but yeah, either way, 2013 Finest, it's hard to top that. And thankfully for me, it was Holloway's rookie year. So it's like the perfect combination. Looks amazing. Thanks, PG. The UFC Fanatics car battle looked like it went great. Big crowd, and they gave away a metric ton of packs to the crowd. Yeah. So that's good that you brought that up, Zach. Michael Rubin's working his magic, getting in the pockets of Dana. I mean, how many times have we ever seen Dana influenced in terms of talking about something that he otherwise wouldn't talk about? And I mean, I don't know how much Dana talking about UFC cards specifically helps him, and it doesn't directly help the UFC. I'm not sure if there's some sort of promotional deal going on between Fanatics and UFC, and maybe UFC getting some sort of kickback in terms of talking about cards and maybe helping sales with the cards. But either way, it's like the perfect combination. If you have Dana White up there getting a question, which was probably like alley-oop to him from someone who Fanatics got a hold of to say, hey, ask about this question at the press conference. It's great because we need more of it. We need more of that for the UFC cards in terms of bringing more popularity, more eyes to the sport, and therefore more collectors, and therefore better products. The first two releases of poster cards are much rarer than the later releases. The first release of 25 being the rarest from 2009. So yeah, you mean by release of 25, you mean there were 25 different copies? No, not different copies, but like there were 25 cards in the poster set. No show. Hello from Canada. Hey mate, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. I can't believe this has been 35 minutes already. This is wild. Fighters calling for their own tops cards in post-fight interview was a great last week. It was a big honor than the video game, I must admit. Yeah, I mean, it's surprising actually. Like the fact that fighters are actually talking about it now is another good thing, and it's obviously a nice green light for the UFC card hobby that fighters even know about it. If it would be cool to know if that guy collected cards himself, but calling his shot, wanting a rookie card, I mean, you got to love that. Yeah, 25 cards per set. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, not the other way around. Not UFC related, but you know I like the silver flashback prisms. So I had to got the silver Tatum a while ago. That one's a PC card. This is one I'm going to crack out of a PSA slab. It's the Holloway 2017. You can't really see it, I don't think, because as I said, this camera is absolute trash on my phone. But that's a gold PSA 9. I want to get it cracked out. What do you guys think? Should I be getting them cracked out and just putting them to display in one touches with black borders? I like the black edging on the borders. I really think it's going to help like the blues, the golds, the reds pop. So that was what my thinking was with the one touches with black borders. Or should I just suck it up, get them all encased in a SGC slab? And forget about SGC not being PSA value. What I don't care. These are like these are my PC cards that I don't care about reselling or whatever. I just want to have them displayed in the best way possible. So I really would like some advice from anyone who has had a similar issue. Anyone sweating with the Ortega fight? I know lots of Diego cards were going for a pretty price. I'm a little worried, not going to lie. Yeah, I don't think no show. My opinion is I don't think Diego's got much to lose here. Even if he loses to Brian Ortega, this was a last-minute sort of put-together fight. I remember still watching Diego's first fight against Mossa, and that was a last-minute fight. And Mossa is really, I think he's top 3 featherweights right now, and Diego really gave it to him in a competitive fight. So, I mean, if Diego got knocked out, which I don't see Ortega doing. Ortega's not known for that. Obviously, he knocked out Frankie Edgar with an uppercut, but that was a while ago, and that was Frankie Edgar at the back of his career. So I don't think San Diego has too much to lose, but that's just my opinion. Nice Tatum, NBA champ. Yeah. Thanks again for spoiling that result for me, Zach. I appreciate that, mate. That's a crazy crack. Just sell for 300 and buy raw. No. That's not an option I've thought about. It's not the worst option. I've never really contemplated that, though. I don't know. I'd have to look. Someone look on eBay for me right now. I can't do it because I'm... But yeah, I'll obviously no, you don't have to do anything. But I'll check that out. That's actually something I haven't considered doing. Keep it sealed with patience. You can find another loose copy. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not too tied to this. Obviously, I'm not sure if they're all like this in 2017, but we can see like that is a big auto. It takes up about 25% of the card. It's a big clear auto. I haven't looked at other copies to know if that's like this particular copy is a better copy auto-wise than others. But if it's not, other than that, I'm not too concerned about replacing that copy because there's nothing else that really ties me to that, but that could be an option. The only card that I do want to crack out that I would not look to replace, we're getting glare here, is the 2018 O'Malley. This Sapphire is a perfect copy for me because it's really well centered left to right. I talked about this when I picked this card up about a year ago now. It was leading up to 292. But long story short, this has I've seen a few other copies of this, the Sapphire, but none of them have had as good left to right centering, which is I'm OCD about, as all of you who are probably hanging in here know. So this was one I don't think I could replace, just sell and try and find a better copy. So this one I actually need to crack out. I've got a video on cracking out actually slabs, how I thought to do it, and I think it's pretty safe. Keep it in the slab. Yeah, but then it's not going to match all my other cards. Like you can see here, a lot of my PC cards. What else we got? We got the real best Celtics player, Jaylen Brown. That dude can play ball. We've got the O'Malley. It's the instant, but it's the Versicolor to 5 from UFC 292. Well, the season ticket that I failed to get signed by O'Malley at UFC 299. We have the throwback to the 90s inserts, Dennis Rodman. We've got the baddest bitch and the best female fighter we're probably ever going to see, Amanda Nunes. So, got the Dominators. I've got these taped up so they don't fall out. It really wrecks me showing this off right now. But we've got the Dominators from 2023 optic for Israel. One of the best photos I've seen of him on a card. But I need to have these all matching. It's just what I have to do. I have to all get them in the same display case, all encased in the same display, so then I can get it on the wall here somewhere. I'm actually thinking about redoing this whole wall. So going to take everything away. I'm going to inbuild shelving on each side with some lighting and stuff. I'll probably make a video about that, but I've just got too many other projects I've got half finished here at home. SGC is a curse on UFC card prices, better off Raw. Yeah, but as I'm saying, I don't care about the actual prices. These cards are what they are already for me. I appreciate them for the rarity mainly is what I've been chasing in my collection the past 12-ish months, 18 months. And I really like the way they look in an SGC slab. The only thing that bothers me, if it was an SGC and it's SGC 7, I could see how that could probably bother me, and that would be a problem. I have cracked a bunch of slabs, just have to in OT for the PC. What do you mean by OT? I didn't really understand what you meant there. If you're going to crack, just go with the one touch with the black border. Yeah. I know. But, yeah. I don't know. I've literally been contemplating this for about 3 months now. That's why all these cards that are my favorite cards I haven't displayed for 3 months now because I've been umming and ahhing what to do with them. I prefer my collection unslabbed but have a tough time cracking slabs. Oh, okay, so you've cracked cards just to get them out of slabs for the PC. That's interesting. I've got a video. We can check it out. See if you've seen the method that I do. I use a hacksaw. So I hadn't seen this before. I've seen people where they just clip the edges and then try and crack it out with a screwdriver. Even clipping the edges, I've seen videos where the front edge, the front face will crack out, and then if that's cracking, when you're trying to pry it open, that's going to lead to like potential shatters damaging the card. So I just thought it was best cut off the top edge with a hacksaw, which cuts it nice and clean and easy, nothing cracks out. And then once that top edge is off, you can literally just pry it open into two pieces. And I honestly thought, like, you still got to be careful because it feels a bit springy, but as long as you're sensitive to how much you should be prying it open, you're good to go. So give that a go. But as I said, I've got a video if you do want to check that out. Oh no, yeah, I told you. When you messaged me, you were like, congratulations on the champions. I'm like, yeah, I have not watched the final match yet, but obviously they're already up 3-0. So Luca was lucky to win that fourth game. I think Yair is much tougher fight than Lopez, but I'm not counting Ortega. Yeah. That fight with Yair was strange. I really thought I thought that was going to be such a great fight, but obviously it ended quickly. A Museum PSA 9 is as good as a PSA 10, so hard to get high grades. Yeah, it is. It is. So, but once again, that card is not ever going to be for sale. It's hard. Like, this is my favorite ever image of O'Malley. It's like it reminds me of a true rookie card because you can see how young he looks. And this is what I remember him when I first started following him. He had this look, not so much of a crazy look, but he was a young guy. It's his only vertical card that he has. Oh. All right. We are 46 minutes in. We were due for something shitty to happen. So, surprised it didn't happen earlier, to be completely honest. Where are we at? We are. Do you ever go hunting or gold mining out there? I'd love to go to Aussie and hunt treasure someday. So, Brian, unfortunately, I'm not in the homeland of Australia. I'm actually over here in Sweden. And I don't know if there's any gold out here to be finding, but either way, I have not done either of those things in either country. I think Lopez beats Ortega. Just don't see Lopez beating Mosa, Ilya, Max, or Volk. Yeah, of course you would not see Lopez beating Ilya. We're still waiting for the announcement, Gem Card Collecting. We're still waiting for the announcement of Max versus Ilya. Stream video down, audio live. It's all right, we're back up. We're at 48 minutes. I can't believe this is going so quick. You got a cat on the black screen? Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I'm back. Yes. All right. No, actually, that's not a lie. This is the second horizontal card that I own of O'Malley. Got this one, and then actually up behind me in an ugly PSA slab, I have his 2018 Museum Collection relic, canvas relic from his debut fight And those are really the only two. Oh, then I've got two Yoshihiros. This one is another one I need to crack out. It's the 2021 Prism Instant Impact Gold. What really drew me to those was they were such a unique design. Like, even for Prism, they're pretty out there, but like, I think from what we've seen in collecting before, is out there is something that is generally appreciated in time. Obviously it's gold, so it's got the somewhat rarity to it. They did silver, so they had the base, then they did silvers, greens, mojos to 25, and then they did the golds to 10. But they only did these 1 year in Prism. They only did these 2021. You didn't have the instant impact inserts at all in 2022 or 2023. So I thought that was a cool card to add. This one. This is the 2014 champions. You really can't see it, but this is the silver parallel. It's probably my favorite image of Connor. Like, this really reminds me, like, obviously in the Dethrone sponsored gear, but this really reminds me of back in his heyday when he was climbing the ranks. So really cool card, and it's actually surprisingly the only Connor card that I have in here. Every other Connor card that I have is a card that I would sell. But basically, the cards that I've been showing off here, as I said, I'm trying to work out what to do with them. But these are cards that, like, don't really ever have any interest in selling. And it's funny because it's hard to sell UFC cards. But funnily enough, I've had people reach out, especially when Holloway won UFC 300. The amount of people I had hit me up about this card, like, oh, if you ever want to move this card, let me know. I'll be a buyer. It's like, yeah, you're asking the wrong person. When I made my mind up about a card that, like, it's a card that I really want, it's hard to pry it out of my hands. Vertical makes a huge diff. Look at Fedor 2006 rookies. The horizontal SSPs go for 150 base, verticals are 600. So yeah, that's a good point. A great point, actually, Brian. There's like a collectability to a card as well, right? And that's what I talked about with that instant impact for Max. I think if that was a more known fact, and especially only having 3 years of Prism, first year of Prism as well, you want to chuck that into the equation there. I really think that that's what moves the needles for, like, us collectors when it comes to desirability and things that we want. So, as you said, you can get horizontal SSPs, but then you have vertical cards which are the more desirable by the right people who want those cards, and they're willing to pay a premium for what they actually want. So there's definitely something to that one, at least in my opinion. There is something to that when it comes to desirability of a card and, like, the long-term collectability of that card as well. All right. How do you think the market will be for older Topps cards now that Fanatics Topps got the license again? And how do you think the value interest will be for Panini cards in, let's say, 5 years? Great question. I used to think about this stuff a lot a while ago. When I first saw Michael Rubin talking about getting the UFC license back again, that was like at least 12-ish months ago now. I remember I was playing a clip of Michael Rubin on the Full Send podcast talking about having UFC cards again. That was exactly what I thought. I thought, oh, geez, because there was such an influx of new people coming into UFC cards in 2021, 2022, 2023, and that's all you've ever known is Panini. A lot of UFC people cards, because UFC cards are still relatively new, they don't really look back at the older stuff. So a lot of people didn't even know there was Topps Chrome in 2017 or Topps Knockout, for example, or even Topps Finest. So they didn't even know about them. So initially I thought, oh, this is going to open up a massive window of opportunity if you can be maybe picking up some older Topps cards now when people are not really thinking about them so much. And then, wow, the new Topps license comes out. People are like, oh, Topps UFC's back. And then, oh, well, there was Topps UFC before. Then they look into the older stuff and then maybe it might have drove more people to the older stuff, creating more demand, lifting the prices. But obviously, it's too early to tell. Like, we're only 6 months, 7 months into the year now. So it's still early days in terms of getting an actual feel for what the reaction has been. We'll know more in another year time maybe, but so far I do think that UFC collectors and card buyers have continued the same routine of just buying what's new, and then you forget about the product that was out 3 months ago and you just concentrate on what's new. So that's where, as I said at the start of the live, I'm really interested to see if there is some sort of statistic of where the money's going. Is it going towards people putting money on breaks or buying individual cards? But even you guys can let me know right now, how are you guys spending your money when it comes to buying cards? Are you buying into breaks for new product, or are you buying cards on eBay, for example? Let me know. And then obviously for Panini, I honestly think that Panini will be appreciated in probably more closer to 10 years. I think if Panini don't have any sort of UFC product, whether it's licensed, unlicensed, in 10 years' time, I think a 3-year tenure of Panini cards, for the look of them, I think they will be very desired, in my own opinion. Objecto: the investors that will make money on these are likely in it for the long game. Prospecting the next hot fighters is too risky. Yeah, see, that's always been my thing. I basically come into it having my favorite fighters that I just wanted to buy my own cards of and have them for my own collection. And then the other half of me was like, well, what fighters do I think are going to be appreciating value over the next 5, 10, 15 years? Problem with that is it's a long game to wait. And if you're like me, you want to be having a bit of fun. So if you are trying to make money when it comes to having cards, you want to be making money in 3 months, a month's time. You don't want to be waiting 10 years. Ideally, I would like to be able to pay for my PC cards that I'm buying, whether it's the ones that I've already bought or the ones that I look to buy in the future. Ideally, I'd like to be able to buy those cards with other card purchase profits from other purchases. That's the dream. Has it worked for me? Not yet, but it's still kind of fun to really experiment and try and work out some sort of formula that works. But it's a tough gig. It's a tough gig in any sport, but especially in UFC. Brian S., I see a lot of eBay, and every day somebody tells me they never knew UFC made cards. There's new collectors coming in every single day. That is true. If you just got to be on the Facebook groups to see where people are posting every day, like, hey, I just bought my first box of UFC cards, or hey, I'm looking into getting UFC cards. What should I buy? Which, I mean, we can sort of giggle at that as people who have been in it for a while. It's like, well, don't have other people tell you what to. But I mean, well, this is where we're all were when we started. There's just not enough information, and sure, you need to make your own little mistakes and fumble your way through it for the first bit. But really, that's what got me started making content, is trying to be somewhat of a reasonable voice to help people. I mean, I know I blubber on a lot of the time, and a lot of my content is opinion based. I'm not ever here opening up product, but I like to think there's somewhat lessons and somewhat people can at least learn from the mistakes I've made that I've talked about, and maybe other little things that I try to highlight in my videos. But that's definitely true. There's new people coming in every day. So, and I think it'll continue. I think, obviously, at least of all the sports, I think UFC has the best long-term growth. Early tops will be number one. There's not enough supply versus demand. Yeah, early tops. I think early tops for the right fighters, for the right cards, yes, definitely. I mean, I don't know how many people will be wanting to buy a CB Dollaway 2009 round one card in 10 years' time. I don't think there'll be too many people, but maybe set collectors. I think that's where 2009 round one will always hold its value, is because it has the desire of the debut UFC product. So set collectors who are going to be coming in all the time, set collecting for 2009 round one will always be the go-to, I think. So I think that's where 2009 round one will be saved by set collectors for the base cards and stuff like that. But in general, yeah, early tops and first year Prism is what I would be looking at, and even first year Chrome. I don't think even first year Chrome now. I really would have thought there would have been more highlight of first year Chrome with it coming back. I really would have thought 2017 would have got a pump up, but maybe it has. I'd have to have a look at it. I might do a video of that in the future. Actually, I can go over card. I haven't done a pricing video, but we could see what 2017 Topps Chrome has been selling since the release of 2024 Chrome. That's a video I can do actually. Never bought into a break and only ever purchased 3 hobby boxes. Both not for me. I only buy singles now. So yeah, I bought hobby boxes, never opened one, but I did buy into box breaks. When I first ever started buying cards in 2022, it was around the release of Prism 2022, and there was box breaks, and I was buying them on eBay. I paid $65 for a case blaster break for Sean O'Malley. That was how little information that I knew. And you know what all I got out of that was a fireworks insert. That was all I got out of a $60 blaster box break. But I didn't know any better. Obviously, I learned my lesson pretty quickly after that. I bought into a few blaster box breaks, but I thought I was getting them cheap for a case, but I had no idea what I was doing. But once I sort of learned my lesson, I've never bought into a box break since then. Objectos agreeing with Jason. I wonder how many times we have all tried to snipe each other on eBay. Yeah, who do you guys PC? Objecto, Jason. Obviously, Jason, I know you just said you're PCing Whitaker, but who else are you PCing? We can all be friends here, but we must remain enemies on eBay. Yeah. That's how it is. You can't be telling people to not be bidding on cards. It is what it is. If you're the two highest bidders for the same card, that's just what it is. We are over an hour here, guys. It's after midnight. My tea's gone cold. I'm probably going to wrap this up here soon. If you want to get any last questions in, chuck them in now. I really appreciate all of yous for coming here. I literally thought I was going to have 2 people come on. The fact that I got over 10 at one point is pretty crazy. And I'm definitely going to have to do this again, I think. Definitely going to have to do this live again. PC Whitaker, Volkanovski, Jake Matthews, and Jimmy Crute. Leave my Aussies alone, please. Yeah. Of course, you PC. That's very patriotic of you to be PCing all the Aussie fighters. Jimmy Crute, is he still in the? He sort of like retired there, I think, didn't he? After his second fight with Alonzo Menifield. Thanks for hanging with us, Damien. You killed it. Thanks, Zach. You're still here? I thought you'd left. Thought you had something better to do. But no, thanks everyone for hanging around. Good first live stream, Damien. Cheers, and I'll reach out again soon over eBay. Yeah, mate. Let me know. I'll try and look after you for sure. But I think that'll do it here, guys. As I said, super appreciative. I didn't expect it to go this well. This was a lot of fun. Zach, you've got to try this yourself, mate. And obviously, we Zach and I talked about doing a collab live as well at some point. So, but I definitely will do this again. This is fun. It's great to connect with all of you, and yeah, it's definitely something that I can easily do in the future. Jason, number one prospect in 2021, Crute was then lost 3 in a row. Yeah, a bit of a cross, bit of a curse from some of those 2021 fighters. Cheers, Emma. Cheers, Jason, mate. Thank you. AB, thank you for tuning in, mate. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the support from you. And yeah, next week, third installment of the Road to a Grail card. And I was telling Zach, I've tried to make this video as fun as I could. So I really hope you guys enjoy that one. Once again, thank you. And we'll be back. I'll do another live again soon. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.